Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, once again to the world of Cairne.
Good evening, everyone.
Evening.
Evening. How is everyone? Good?
Fabulous.
Good.
Doing good.
Glad to be.
Well, I do want to get one thing really quickly out of the way this week. Those of you do know, those of you don't, every year for the last 4 years I partake in No Shave November for the Movember charity.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not throwing this out there to ask for donations or anything like that. It's more important for me to get recognition of the cause. And that is basically comes down to it's okay to not be okay. So reach out to somebody you haven't heard from in a while. Just say hi, see how they're doing. But that said, I'm very glad to see all of you guys again. It feels like it's been, 2 weeks since we were here?
To the day, your sense of time is immaculate.
I know.
At least for me.
It's been too long.
Too long. Far too long. Well, would anyone like to give us a brief recap? Don't all jump at once.
Crickets. Crickets, I say.
Nobody? Nobody at all?
We spent the vast majority of our time in the previous session engaged with the aftermath of our conflict with the Ephemerons. Genesis had taken a pretty substantial scratch and was in danger of the muck blood. We kind of scrambled for a little while trying to sort that one out. Wilhelm did not have the necessary antibiotic knowledge to treat it fully. He could only really hold it at bay for a little while. So we started to scatter. People were looking around for the old medic. Most people looking for his remains / equipment. Listener has a more direct method of dealing with that and just looked for a particularly doctorly ghost.
Which he found.
Did find. After quite a number of rolls, we had a conversation. Listener gets to deal once more with the fact that all of these dead people do not handle it very well, and it seems quite rude to just leave them sitting around dead like that. No idea what the gods could have been thinking.
Very true.
After some grief, after some turmoil, we were reminded that we possessed all healing tears and could maybe put them to use, and then we did.
Very good.
A great boon has been used to preserve Genesis's life.
Indeed. And to be fair, the goddess that shed those tears would probably appreciate them being used.
They are for saving, it's true.
I believe that was pretty much it, right?
Yeah, we did not get very far after that.
So we are still here amongst the dead, as it were. I think you guys were setting out, though, if I remember correctly. That was the plan. Now, excuse me, I'm not sure I remember where we were setting out to exactly, but we were leaving this place.
I don't know if we had a super solid destination, did we?
Our destination was essentially to the ruins where our, that Saoirse had the key to. So that's where we discussed going.
Yeah, that's the long-term goal for sure.
I think we discussed going there specifically. Like, there are 2 ruins nearby, so it's just like maybe we could camp out in one before we, deal with the void wraiths sort of dealio. But yeah, we were headed that way, methinks.
Entirely
We're planning
up to you guys.
to.
Yeah, no. Entirely up to you guys. Wherever you want to go. Where are we headed?
Ruins is not a terrible plan. It's about the only direction we have.
Okay.
Isn't there like a beach where we could get some Bahama Mamas and some Mai Tais?
There's a lot of
We
beach.
came from there.
A whole lot of beach.
Unfortunately, they wanted to eat us.
Still do.
I don't know, maybe they became friendly since the last time we talked.
Well, I mean, as friendly as you might be with a cow if you're wanting a hamburger, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
There's some latent curiosity there that might draw us towards the volcano, but it's just such a bad idea, you know?
Screams and howls of madness and terror. It's perfectly fine.
Who wouldn't be curious?
Well,
Me, I'm not curious.
I was gonna say
All right.
I'm looking through the character profiles here, and
Everyone else.
it's probably an even split. I'd say 3 of you are definitely not curious, and 3 of you are probably okay with going.
Slightly desperate, but you know.
Yeah, there's one of the okays right there. Evelyn's
Do we
fearless.
know which direction the ruins are from our current position? You know,
You should be
which
able to
side?
see them on your map.
Those up there? Or those up
This is not the ruin. This is where
there? Okay.
Evelyn
Let's
does
see.
have the inside info on some of the ruins, though.
Okay.
But I'll leave that between you guys.
I think Evelyn was telling us about some of the ruins last time.
Yeah, she hasn't really held back much, so
Not bad. Looks like about 7 miles as the crow flies. Do we have any of those left? Are there crows still?
yeah, actually.
Good. Good.
There's a lot of avian life still, but as with everything else, just a little changed. Crows got smarter.
Oh, that's terrifying. Halfway to Kinku's.
All right, so we are mounting up and heading straight for it then?
I think that's the plan. How does everybody feel?
Yeah.
All right.
I
Excuse me.
perhaps we should take, because a straight line would lead us. Should we hug the shore, or
We could if our goal is to get as far from the volcano as fast as we can.
Do you guys need the travel times again, or? I mean, you can. What was it? You said it was a 7, 8
7
miles
miles straight
straight. So, like, excuse me, moving at a slow pace, taking care of your animals, trying to keep the fungus away and everything. Let's say moving at a slow pace. You could make 18 miles in a day. So if you did want to hug the shore and increase that travel time in that way.
Cough, cough.
Uh-oh.
He's got class features.
Yeah, I mean that's not gonna, I don't think, affect you too much. When I say traveling at a slow pace, it's not due to terrain. It's just due to taking care of the animals more than anything.
Yeah.
I mean, you can travel at a normal pace and make 24 miles in a day. You know, that's fine.
All the rest of that is pretty great, though.
You can go balls to the wall and get a full 30 miles in a day if you want.
Take your level of exhaustion.
Yeah, I don't
Well,
mind.
but if we're going at a slow pace, though, Uki will also be using careful eyes, and perhaps even doing a little scouting, but not necessarily going in front of the party. Just using her scope and spit to keep an eye out for any unfriendlies.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we've learned better than to split up the party in that way. It didn't work out super well.
Splitting the party is always a good idea.
Let's just head out, you know? Nobody's too eager to stay here. Everybody's a little traumatized by the experience.
This is true.
We should have some daylight. I think did we sleep before all that happened, or did we not? I forget the alignment here.
I think we did take a long rest.
Yeah, you guys did get a rest, if I remember correctly.
Didn't it get interrupted, or was it during the end?
It was during the end. You guys still got your rest, I'm pretty sure.
Phew. That's good.
Yeah, let's hit it. We've got Kaz with Wasteland Explorer. We've got Uki with Careful Eyes. We've got listeners spotting more spiritual dangers.
And only more horrible things to come. Let's go.
All right.
And as per last time, I will have Saoirse be playing Bea Coming Clean for 8 hours.
Okay, that definitely works. So, we're doing the straight shot then, right? No deviation.
I think it would be in our best interest to head for these ruins first before we head on to the big old ruins, but where we know there's a void wraith.
Okay.
You wanna go to the other ones?
See if we can make camp and prepare before we face the void wraith.
Reason.
Yeah.
Do we know what's at the other ruins? Does Evelyn have information?
Yeah. I mean, if you want to, it's an Elven Outpost of some sort, which should be fine. I mean, what could go wrong?
Oh yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Like living elves, right? Not the dead
Yeah,
kind, the living ones.
Voidwalkers. It should be. We should. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Maybe let's not.
Maybe not. I mean, we could go look at it.
We've taken care of voidwalkers though.
Elven Outpost. That was the important part, I think, of the sentence. Elven Outpost.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
And there's some human structures as well, but largely there's some Becklerite symbols on like banners and crests throughout it. So I don't personally feel comfortable like spending the night there, mostly because I think we'll die. But we can look at it from really far away and see what you guys think, like from really far away first, and see what you guys think if you want to spend the night there. Yeah.
Listener would be content not
She looks scarred.
doing that.
If we get close, perhaps I can look at it and see if it's something I'm familiar with. If there are Becklerite symbols.
Place your votes, everybody. We've got 2 paths.
There could also be chocolate in there, so
It's always a
no,
possibility.
it's probably gone by now. It's probably not any food on.
It is a possibility, though highly unlikely, yes.
There's a lot more of us now, though. When it was just me, and I didn't realize what it was at first. I didn't stay for very long, but it might be safer with a larger group.
Oh, there's a bonus for you guys. Thanks to Ginkgo.
Thank you, Ginkgo.
Thanks, Kinko.
Thank you for keeping us alive.
He's
I
trying.
do appreciate it. All right. Votes, 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 votes. Pop them in the chat if you must.
Oh yeah. We don't want to sit here too long. You never know what may come back.
He's going to hold up a hand and he's going to start putting fingers down on the hand, and then something terrible will happen at the end.
Yeah.
I vote we head towards the smaller ruin, and then when we get close enough, we can determine whether to head upwards towards the big one or to investigate it further.
That's
Yeah.
my vote as well.
Yep. Same.
All right. In that case, let's say we get to like there and then start scoping out.
All right. So travel on. Let's see. Or okay. Here we go. I'm gonna do this with the 20s. 2, 3. Oh, that was getting close. All right. That's very close. So
Make a note, I am that invisible today.
doing good today.
Yeah.
So right here is where you get to. I will say that the desolation of the sands upon which you travel is very, very much just completely blasted. As you round into the northern quadrant beyond the volcano, the ground itself becomes dry and packed and parched, and there's not even scrub. It is literally like walking across a salt flat. There's just nothing. You can feel it leaching moisture out of your body. You can smell really old rot in the air drifting from the volcano. There appears to be a downdraft coming off the peak across this plain. More disturbing than that, right as you got to right about here, you started noticing that it wasn't just packed earth you were walking on, but a large number of skeletal remains calcified in the actual earth itself.
Right. Well, spirit check.
Ironically, there are none.
Oh no. They died someplace else.
I would like to state that Uki is carrying her spear two-handed. She's got her pistols loaded at her sides, and Scope Musk is loaded on her back.
Good deal. Good deal.
Can she roll to see if they are people parts? Or if it's like animals or
yeah, give me a survival.
Themselves. Is that a thing?
Yeah. Yeah. Give me a survival check. Boom. Very nice. Very good. This is actually a hodgepodge. There are animal bones, there are human, dwarven, elven, halfling, and one you don't really recognize. Short in stature, is almost dwarvish, but slightly more slender in frame. You're not really sure what that could be, though you have a suspicion it might be a creature once called.
Just going to ask the doctor.
There you go.
What is that?
You cut out partway through that, by the way, for us.
Trains.
Did I? Sorry, yeah. The midnight train to Georgia. No, the slightly smaller statured skeletal remains, similar to a dwarf but more slender. You do have a sneaking suspicion it might be something you've heard stories about from the past. Something called a gnome.
Ooh.
It's previously it's similar to the halflings we encountered.
How dare you?
I'm so glad you got it.
Gnome, sweet gnome.
They're similar in size to the halflings. Remember the children that attacked us? They're possibly a gnome, judging from the girth of the body. Though I've honestly only read about them.
Such creatures would have died long, long ago, would they not have?
Yes, can I get an idea how long the bones have been? I know you said they're calcified. Having an idea just how long the bones have been here?
These are ancient. Probably. I mean, they're calcified. If that tells you anything. So they've been sitting here, getting bleached by the volcanic gases and whatnot. Most likely that are just beneath the surface of the Earth itself. Excuse me.
They most likely predate this.
So what we encountered before weren't children. They were. She like waves her hand over one of the tiny skeletal remains. She's like, they were these gnomes. These.
They were a few things combined. They were children, but they were children of halfling. And they were also not alive. So they were undead halfling children?
I thought we said that they were Shawneesian and human.
Were they Shawneesian? I thought it was a halfling village. I thought they were halfling.
No, the ephemerans are Bactelarite remains.
Well, so those weren't connected to what I blew up.
No.
It's still
To be
eternally
fair,
down.
you blew up a lot of things.
Yeah, still eternally down. Got it. We're good. Yeah.
Listener would probably argue that they're really not so bad once you get to know them. They're just a little bit helpless.
And hungry.
Hungry.
And murderous.
They are that, usually.
And lonely.
Yeah.
And we almost joined them.
Yes.
Nah, nowhere near.
Yeah.
So we are on an absolutely ancient mass grave. Or, more likely, all of these bones were moved here on purpose.
Or they were running from something.
Had they been running, their
Oh, they'd be
spirits
spirits.
would be here as well. Unless, of course, they died before, when the gods still walked.
Which is a possibility.
Indeed.
This close to impact site, especially.
Indeed. They may not have been on the wrong side of the cutoff line.
But it does look like these all died in approximately the same time frame, right? That this was not like this may have been just like a single event, and not that we're seeing various stages of decay.
Good question. Good question. Let's get another survival roll. Let's see what you can find.
Okay, I will do that.
I will assist. I'll assist.
Are you-
So you get advantage.
Powerful survivals.
Perfect.
Are you asking?
That's a good point.
Well, we don't need to worry.
Sure, any of that was necessary.
We don't need to worry.
You roll a second 24.
So, it's a little strange, Yuki. These people died almost as if in an instant. Something happened that just obliterated all of these people at once. They looked like they were in a panic at the time, scattering and running about wildly. And then whatever happened just utterly obliterated all of them all at once where they stood, and they fell where they stood and remained where they stood until, like I said, the earth started to reclaim them. It does not appear that they were fighting, though, if that was part of that question.
Got it. So they essentially seem like they were fleeing.
Yeah, this was a panic maneuver by the look of it.
Got it.
A maneuver.
Is that made clear to the rest of the group?
Okay. Are you?
Yes, I will. Yes, I will share my observations with the rest of the group, or I guess we'd say knowledge.
Okay.
So, because this may have been based upon, through various travels and through military campaigns and such, this is not exactly uncommon for Uki to have seen, both coming across the carnage from other incidents, but it does appear to be. I would think that Uki would know this is most likely a natural disaster and not something that was a natural disaster or something else that it wasn't like, I guess, for lack of a better word, I'll say human. This isn't like a massacre, like a battlefield, right?
No. So, real quick, do any of you have the educated boon racially? I know Wilhelm does.
No, mine was different, sadly.
Mhm.
I don't have that either.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
I have prodigy and empathy.
Yeah. But I think Wilhelm is the only one with an actual, like, formal education, is what that means mainly.
Yeah.
Your mom goes to college.
Does anthropology count?
Anthropology, actually, yeah, that could come into play.
In history adept, but those are the only two.
Anthropology, yeah. So we'll let you kind of play into this a little bit. Wilhelm and Evelyn, let's get a nature roll.
Okay.
Just as you're assessing and hearing all this information coming in. Good. Decent. So, Evelyn, I'll start with you. You're still a little puzzled. It's not normal that you would see a scene like this, although you immediately pick up on the fact that, hey, we are in visual range of a volcano.
It was like,
However,
I want to move.
you don't have the solidified magma, the volcanic glass that would normally be here if this was the case of an eruption. They aren't like baked in ash or anything like that. They're visible for the most part. So it's still a little odd, but you're kind of making a connection that, as an anthropologist, the two have to be connected somehow. And from there, Wilhelm can fill in the blanks. If he speaks openly, I'll say it openly.
Feel free.
It's a pretty decent roll. Based upon your location and proximity to the impact site of the initial blight, and the way that impact affected the underground of Cairne, Kaz's folk especially, when the impact site hit, it forced void energy as well as everything else down there outward. It compressed in and forced outward, which is what wiped out so many people underground. And you actually have a sneaking suspicion that this is a result of ash, toxic gases, and void energy getting forcefully shoved out of the volcano and blasting across the land at the moment of impact.
I obviously share that information. Do we see any shifting sands?
No, it's baked. It's cracked and parched.
Listener kneels down to touch some of the bones. You escaped, then. Wonder where you went.
So you're Saoirse just looks very solemn at hearing everyone explain all this.
They didn't go to Disneyland.
Listener,
Yes,
do
well,
you see any dread sand? I'm not sure how it's created, but the combination might. That almost makes sense to me that something like that could create it. Lots of.
from my scanning for spirits, I assume not.
You do not see a specter in sight.
Yes, so back to Wilhelm, listener says, no. Every last one of them must have made it out. The gods had not yet left. These may have been some of the very last.
Thankfully, at least they found peace so far.
Yes.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Well, that's creepy. I mean, it's good. And then she looks back up at the volcano and she's like, we should move.
They're all still scarred from the dragon ghost.
Somebody got a fire alarm going off, or we just got some really, really high feedback?
Or that.
I don't hear anything.
Yeah. It's either you or Evelyn, it looks like.
What?
I don't hear
No.
anything.
It's like a whistle.
Yeah.
A whistle? Here, let me mute.
No. Oh, I don't like that.
Alright, Evelyn, say something.
Did I do it? Was it me?
No, it was church.
It was
I'm gonna
church.
mute for a while
Is it
until
me?
Church can come back.
It's church, no.
Hang on, let me figure out what's going on.
I'm not hearing anything either.
Yeah,
I would just unplug it and replug it in.
Oh my god.
And then hit
Oh
it
my
with a
God.
hammer.
Essence here in it.
Yeah, I'm hearing it definitely.
Yeah.
Is this one of those things that only young people can hear?
Oh.
Yeah.
It is.
Note.
I thought
Nope.
I thought it was
Still there.
me. I thought it was me because I just pulled a smart garage control out of the box and was looking at everything. I'm like, why is that making noise at me already? I haven't.
Yeah. While I like being called young, I'm not young.
Church, have you unplugged your mic and replugged it in?
Good grief.
Because it seems to be
Just gonna deafen
something
for a minute.
that
Yeah, it's.
I can hear that in my fillings.
it sounds like it's only
It's prompted by other noise, yeah. It's just a
Yeah.
feedback or something. It's not enough to trigger the mic itself.
yeah, but it's consistent, so it's not like there's something in the background doing it.
Did it stop?
No.
No.
If it didn't stop, it's not me, because I just muted myself entirely.
No, it
No.
stopped while you were
It's
muted.
definitely
Oh,
you.
okay.
Every
The
time
entire
you
time you were
speak
talking.
or every time noise comes over your mic, it's there. You got an XLR mic or you have a USB mic?
It's an XLR.
Then that might be something in there.
Did it just start?
About when I started complaining about it.
Yeah.
That's weird. Nothing's changed.
Yeah, I was
It's
trying
like
to
a
figure out what it
really
was.
angry cricket dog whistle.
Yeah.
I like the cricket version better, honestly.
Maybe you can hear it if
Yeah.
you go into the Twitch stream and like listen
Yeah.
for a second, because it has a little bit of a delay.
Let me see here.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Well, let me get this sorted. We'll be right back.
We don't have a technical issues banner, do we?
comes back.
Still good for now.
Must have been OBS just freaking out then. That's weird.
All's well that ends well.
Thanks, Obama. Sorry, I haven't said that in ages.
Obama broadcasting software. He made it himself. Wrote it in Python.
Totally.
Can't save you now.
We all know it. We all know it. Okay, so let's do that. Right. So before I conveniently distracted everyone,
Yes.
we are. Thanks, Urban. We had determined basically that the cause of this horrific disaster. What do you guys want to do with this information? Just reverently be sad about it and move on, or?
Listener is not sad. He is quite pleased that these few at least managed to get out and are not his problem.
It's a fair way of looking at it. In this world, especially.
Like, if you survived the blast, what you surviving for? What you living into after that?
Yeah, that's that whole nuclear thing. If you could survive, would you? Would you really want to?
Yeah.
All right.
We poor benighted few are after the fact and therefore don't really get any choice.
Yeah. So you're doing good.
Yeah.
Comparatively.
Yeah, as well as you can, honestly. He's not downtrodden by this. He's just kind of wondering, they used to leave, but I don't know too much about where it was they went to.
Religion's not his strong point.
Yeah, no, he's still working on that.
All right. So do we want to carry on then?
Yeah, let's carry forward.
So as you make it past the remaining few miles, you do notice that the density of remains increases the closer you get to the ruin. Did you tell them the name of the ruin, Evelyn?
She did not.
Okay. I just don't want to use it if you haven't told them. All right.
She didn't. I wasn't sure if she would have found it because she would have kind of struggled around in there, and finding any evidence of its name might have been.
Oh yeah, no, all that information that you have is canon. You know all that from your research and whatnot.
Yay!
You are the smart.
I have the Brainicles.
Yes.
I really hope I don't butcher it.
Oh, the name. I think you'll be able to get it.
Selunai?
Selunai. See, you got it.
Yep.
You got
That.
it.
Exactly. That's what I said, yeah.
So
Selunai.
you must approach very slowly and with great observation.
So yes,
Making a particular point about that, church.
very closely, with observation. As you approach the ruin, you can see it now. It is indeed some type of elven outpost. From here, beyond the outside, you can see the central building and the very tips of the remaining outlying buildings, kind of from above, as it were. Let's do this and swap you guys over. I gotta find the right one. I have so many maps in here, it's ridiculous. There it is. We're gonna bring you guys over to here. All right. So now these blips that you have here.
I see only darkness.
Same.
Same.
No, I can see thing down to the bottom right. I see where we are.
Okay, so you can see.
Yeah.
See Genesis
Got
moving.
mega dark vision.
Oh yeah.
I
that's
can't
true.
see a thing.
All right.
That's
well-
true. I've got dark vision.
Oh wait, who's got the light sources? That's what we're missing.
Should be me.
Saoirse.
Saoirse and Genesis,
Yep. I think I've still got my sunstone.
and you. Okay, so we'll go 15. Boom.
Hey.
Nice.
I'm just gonna put myself back here.
15.
Is it that dark here?
Yes. By the time you reach here, yeah, it's.
Oh, okay. Fair.
It certainly is. There's Genesis, Listener, and Saoirse. There you go. 3 of you should have your light sources now. Like I said, these things behind you, pay no mind. That's just open desert. So that's those are just there for my convenience. Ignore them.
I can't
Did I
see
just get close to
anything.
The entrance?
Wilhelm, why don't you have your eyes turned on? There you go.
Oh, there they are. Because they're so powerful. If I don't turn them off, I will see everything.
So, I will say you guys have approached from the east, more or less. This is a very beautifully crafted elven wall, complete with vinework style filigree of varying types of stone, inlaid with hardwoods that are stained in varying colors, ranging from blues and greens on into yellows and purples. It's very stunning to see. It's very rare you get a taste of elven beauty. This is the gate leading into the walls.
Is it made of wood?
It is.
I found wood.
It is made of beautifully pristine hardwood. It is still in immaculate condition. Probably worth a king's ransom.
We could chop this up.
We're just gonna take the hinges off. That's all we're doing.
We could chop this up to fill the holes in our belt.
I will
Just
say,
like looking at a fortune.
if you want to, you may roll a perception check.
I love rolling perception checks.
Yeah, Kaz definitely does.
If you want to, you don't have to. This is always optional. Genesis.
What? Genesis, what door?
It's so pretty. I don't see or hear anything.
My blood is distracted by wood.
Not gonna make the joke. It's too easy.
Yeah,
We have
yeah.
to steer clear of these.
Resist.
I'm avoiding that.
Resist.
Right, but some of us
Awesome.
see some things, I'm sure.
What time of day is it? Is it the morning?
Oh no, no.
We lost one, boys.
I-
We
I'm-
lost one.
I'm gonna reel this in before it goes way off the deep end. And this becomes a hot tub stream. Listener, Kaz, Saoirse, and Wilhelm. Uki is AFK on a call real quick. It's all good though. There's enough of you. On the other side of the gate, as you're admiring it, you know, so Evelyn's kind of running her fingers along it and drooling, and probably licking it.
How can I turn it into paper?
Don't like it.
You guys hear the faint sound of raspy moaning coming from the other side of the gate, and then a very faint scratching sound.
Oh, that's not good.
Less than ideal. Is
Does-
there any place along the wall that's visible to us where we might be able to see in to the town?
You can see what you can see.
Fair.
Does Kaz notice anything else with that, nat 20?
Multiple creatures are making the sound.
Mm. That's not good.
Are we interested in looking into this? Are we interested in investigating the outpost? Because if so, perhaps we should camp outside of it and look at it in the daylight.
Didn't Evelyn mention Voidwalkers before we came here?
Sure did.
She did. She sure did.
Mm. That's what I was thinking.
But I mean, in fairness, what's the likelihood that these are Voidwalkers?
100%.
Hi.
This is Cairne.
1% zombie and 99% voidwalker. Both?
Both? Could be. But wood.
Yeah. I'm mostly made out of that, so I'm not sure it's gonna be worth it.
Oh, don't tell Evelyn that.
See, that's why we don't bother with possessions. We're the most expensive thing on Earth just walking around.
Oh,
Take
that's,
samples.
that's true.
So yeah, going in doesn't seem great.
So what's the plan then?
It's very dark, so going on also doesn't seem great right at the moment. Should we make a loop of the town? I'm sure you can just walk around the border, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Probably can do.
Alright, who's coming with me?
I will come with.
Welcome back, Snacks.
Yeah.
Don't go.
Everybody should go.
Yeah, Sear's just coming.
Yeah, move the tokens. Church is very particular about this.
You are where your token is.
People
Can
who
I-
don't have light, you should move yourselves.
Can she peek through? Can she look? Can she peek?
You can see what you can see.
Why are they yellow?
You see them shuffling, moaning, kind of rasping their claws along the door and the wall, following the sound of you guys moving.
Does she know that they're voidwalkers? Has she seen them?
Yeah, no, you were the one that told them, so.
Okay, cool.
As we walk,
This is
I
creepy.
imagine we're looking out for other entrances, places the wall might be passable, places we could get a better look inside. You know.
They're following us. Guys.
A little
She's
bit.
whispering super loudly because they're still following anyways, so they're gonna hear her.
But as you move, there's even more that you hear.
This is where
There's a lot of them. Not a fun sound.
Those sounds continue as you go. In fact, they get more and more agitated as you go. And you're back around.
Did
So
we
we'll-
see anything? I'll roll perception if you want.
No, I mean that's you saw what you saw. As you went around, you heard the moans and groans and scratching and shuffling sounds increase. You more or less agitated the entire place to some degree, but nothing substantial, like no huge thing.
What if they follow a lot of noise, or if they can smell us, maybe, or I don't know, maybe something about one of us attracts them. If we split up, maybe somebody else can hop into the other side and take a look around if you want to, or we could go.
The dead typically do not trouble me. Now, if there's anything else in there besides the dead, then there may be issues. But if you are dreadfully curious about what is within...
Let's not. I think we just... Yeah, I think this is just a no. We don't go in there.
Never split the party, never split the party, never split the party.
I have to say, I am not really useful against the void beings.
The lies you tell.
When it comes to creatures of the void, I have one option. Two.
Very well. In that case,
in
I
a
guess
pickle.
we camp out. If it's
That
kept
is my
them in
one.
this
That is
long.
one of the useful options. Just one.
Yeah. If it's kept them in this long, it's probably a good wall to have at your back.
Can we use that dome to put that in the opening so they can't get through the opening?
I mean, yeah, they're not gonna be able to get through it. So, Are you wanting to go in?
No, nobody should go in there.
Okay.
I'm more thinking now that there's fun-filled, tasty live things. Don't really want them walking through the gate that's now open.
Well, the gate's not open.
Yeah, let's not jinx that little
So,
blessing.
you guys have been very kind of preoccupied with looking around for points of entry, breaches in the wall.
Very true.
Evelyn, you're the only one that's really been obsessed with the door for your own
Yeah.
reasons. Give me, let's just say an intelligence roll, just a straight intelligence roll.
I have some of that.
One would hope.
A little.
Do we just how?
Should be able to just roll your intelligence. Stat.
I have clicked on it.
Nothing happened.
No.
Try maybe just the save. Try the save. It'll be the same.
Cool.
Oops, did not mean to do that.
That's all right.
But I did. In
No
a way.
harm.
I was gonna say that.
Thank God I have a +8.
That's all good, Uki. So yeah, you're. It's a classic case of can't see the forest for the trees. It's okay though, because that is a lot of wealth in front of you, and you are a little greedy.
I can buy a lot of chocolate, okay?
It's true. It's true.
And paper.
So could I use careful eyes for perception or investigation?
What do you want to investigate?
So we've circled around this. You said there's
There's a what? Say they cut out in that last word.
you said there's a door as well.
Just the gate there. This is actually a very large wooden gate.
I'd like to investigate that gate to see how sturdy it is.
It is incredibly sturdy. Solid hardwood, crafted by elven hands well over a century ago. Yeah, go ahead. Give me.
Would there have been anything familiar to that? You remember the large metal piece that we found down underwater when Kaz and I went under?
As far as like something that would relate the two?
Yeah, possibly.
No, nothing that's jumping out at you.
But you did say this is made out of wood, and that's the other thing too, is that because of the craftsmanship, the artisanship of building with wood and metal and everything, that Uki would definitely have particular interest in just looking at the what we say the I'm gonna have the Forta. I'm blanking on the word. Looking at how strong this would have been, and what it would have been built for, and is it basically to keep people in or keep people out?
Well, the gate serves a twofold, but the fact that you asked that question in that particular wording, I'm going to give it to you. Like I said, because you use that specific wording.
Thank you, Prim. Fortifications, yes.
You notice that it is locked from the outside.
Keeping them in.
I am just going to share this with the rest of the party today to let them know this is just I'm all about keeping the enemies out, but this has me. I'm gravely concerned about just wondering what it is that's being kept inside, and I think it'd be very important to keep, if we're going to camp here, that we set up a thorough watch.
There is a huge stash of extended car warranties inside.
If they apply retroactively, we can get the RT fixed with one.
So, what's the plan?
Camping is what it looks like.
Camping out? Okay.
We've got our usual rotation. Listeners on Perma Watch and is also going to cast antifungal for the animals at the appropriate time.
All right. Well, to save time, and based upon where you're at, the elves do not come here. I believe Evelyn has said that too.
They don't go near the ruins.
No, they don't go near the ruins.
Any of them.
So I'm going to give you a rest, unmolested.
Kind of.
So yeah, go ahead and do what you got to do for your rest. I will say it does not lighten up here.
Hazel head over to Wilhelm and point out that his dressings need a good change.
Good call. Well, you guys.
Uki will oil her pistols because being in this terrain with the sand and everything, she doesn't have any issues with misfire.
Smart move.
From getting in.
And I'm glad you're
and
keeping.
And her musket as well.
I'm glad you're keeping track of that because I am too.
And I would like to use one of my during the course of the night using a misting hand mortar with not the hand mortar. Yeah. I'm going to use it to heal everyone in the area again.
Okay.
Burning a tincture.
All right. Make sure you tell everybody what they've healed.
8. You all will hate.
Good.
So anybody who needs it, yeah.
Very solid. So,
fortunately, I'm running low, and then
I
will
also provided water through the auspices of a fancy cantrip.
A handy cantrip.
Yes.
And then I'll change the bandages. I'll treat everyone.
Okay. No, that's good. So we've got guns clean, dressings changed, healing done, water done. Everybody got food?
Yeah.
I don't do food.
The rest of the organics?
Yes?
Yes? That sounded a little shaky.
I believe we still
Yes.
have some from the orchid.
Okay. Okay. That was a suspicious okay.
Though,
I'm assuming she made a tiny hut.
That's fine. They keep you safe.
If
Oh, I
we
guess we
need-
have a long rest now. Never mind.
Yeah, you do have a long rest.
I also will share rations if needs be.
Um,
I have quite a lot.
But you're out of chocolate.
Yes, unfortunately, I am out of chocolate.
It's very rare.
Mm.
There's like 2 whole cacao trees left in the world. That's it.
Cacao.
That was pretty fun.
So, as quote unquote dawn begins to crack, in this particular instance, it's probably closer to dark becoming a little less dark. The sky's really blasted in this area, so it's difficult. However, in the distance, to the southeast, you begin to see the violet flashes of lightning as a storm begins to gather and approach your direction.
Ah.
Ah.
One time.
Well,
Les doo-doo.
friends, it appears that a storm is brewing.
Yeah, you're not wrong there.
You guys could sing and dance in the rain.
Who
You
sings?
think?
Oh,
Well,
wait.
Well, most of you. Most of you do that.
We've got some.
Looks it's your show.
We've-
Sorry.
We've got some singing. Yeah, so Evelyn, in case you're not aware, storms are really big bad news.
The
Sorry.
last one, which was my first
Hmm.
playing, was super fun
Yeah.
Yes.
and led to us being stuck here. So I am really looking forward to more tornadoes and I don't know, sharknadoes and
Sharknado.
fire and death.
Well,
There's no place like home.
Zombie
There's no-
nados.
Yeah.
We have only a brief time to take shelter before it arrives. I'm sure they move so very fast out here.
should we head to the other ruins and see if we can take cover there?
Oh, church.
Yeah.
May we make estimates of how long it will take the storm to reach us?
It's hard to say because the clouds are blending in with the natural blasted overcast nature of the sky. The only reason you're aware of it coming is the lightning that you see in the distance. It's kind of odd colored.
All right. Is the lightning visibly striking the island, I guess I'll ask.
It seems to be forming right over the volcano, more or less. So it's striking the volcano, yes.
That's not very far away.
No.
It does not take a storm very long to cover 5 miles.
No.
Is there any
But it's also in the-
rumbling or shaking of the earth?
No terrestrial rumblings yet. Or, no, I mean, no terrestrial rumblings.
What do you mean yet? What does that mean?
Just ignore that. Either he's messing with us or we'll deal with lava later. Right now, we have other
What do you mean
things to
deal
worry
with lava later?
You have to deal with the lava when it shows up. It sets its own appointments.
Pretty much.
It's lava.
Yes.
We could flee for the other ruins, but we may be caught out in the dunes. We may shelter here, but then we must deal with the dead.
Can your hut, will it keep lightning out?
Yeah.
It's a good question. Will it keep naturally occurring lightning out?
Could we
Important
make a-
thing to note, though.
Could we make a run for the other ruins, and if we don't make it, summon the hut to hide in?
If we do this, the animals are toast. They're not on the map right now, but we did get here on the Phoenix.
No.
Yeah, I need to bring them out, don't I?
Yeah, and Jeff.
Not Archibald.
Let me do
No.
that.
Because the only place to hide here is inside the fort.
Yep.
And I don't know what I'd rather not face.
Can't we?
Lightning or-
We can just double time it.
What? Yeah. What about someone set up I guess the question is like a protection dome hut on us in the past that made us invisible, but that is also impermanent to things such as lightning strikes and rains and such. We would do something to protect the animals.
Yeah, that's the trick. We can fit precisely one animal with us in the hut, and it's usually been Archibald.
Ah. I am quite he is quite partial to Archibald.
Also, quick note about Liamon's tiny hut. It does stay dry and temperament inside, regardless of the weather outside. So.
Oh yeah, no, I was joking. It'll keep you safe.
Oh, okay.
We just won't know how long the storm lasts, right?
Well, no way of knowing that, and the animals are still an issue too, if I remember correctly.
Now,
Yeah, because the Phoenix ran off last time, I believe. They got spooked because, coming out of the sand and attacking.
You could always tell them to run free and hope for the best.
Yeah, but...
The listener has to go find him again.
That wouldn't end super well. What's everybody think? Double time march north, hope we beat the storm, risk the fortifications.
Hope you don't get into trouble along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that, and if we do get in trouble along the way, perhaps we use the hut.
You don't want to be caught in amongst of. You don't want to be caught in the middle of combat when a storm hits.
Yeah, but fortunately neither does much else around here.
Well, we're talking about
Apart from the
Galdawina.
void creatures. Are they crazy enough to be out in a storm? It would kill them too, right?
Yes, they're crazy enough to be out in the storm.
I should never ask, are the Galdawina crazy enough for X? This is a foolish question format.
Yeah, they're hungry. And your food. You're a salad.
And we would be distracted. We would be distracted as well, so they'd probably be more likely. Oh.
I can't believe you didn't say they're hungry and you're a snack.
Let's
Yeah,
let's
she
solve
is
this
snack.
little fortification puzzle here. I'm sure we can get something sorted out.
Okay.
What's the slowest? Would that be Archibald?
I'm the slowest.
But I assume we're riding the Phoenix.
Yeah. Yeah, no one rides the carrier ant. That would be silly.
I mean, you could.
He has
you
to
could,
carry so many things.
you could fit a
I
couple
thought
people.
he carried. Oh, I thought he actually gave me a ride at one.
Yeah, you guys have ridden him before.
Item.
You've
I've
ridden
ridden
him before.
Archibald before.
Yeah, he's
I can't tell if that was sarcasm or if I genuinely just forgot.
no, yeah, he's rideable. He could carry two or three, probably 3 of you, 4 of you, probably most of you, really.
Everybody aboard the ant.
It is an ant. They're very strong.
Yes. They can look
The
tired.
bigger they get, the weaker they get.
I think you guys are being teased in chat there.
Oh no, good thing I'm not looking at chat now.
Yeah. Well, it's our own Van Warren. Oh no,
They
not the
just walk through the
crazy
rain.
elves.
Not that crazy, motherfucker.
Yeah, I've never been of the opinion that elves are crazy.
They are, though.
So.
They are, though. Van Warren is a friend, but he is not an exception.
No.
Yeah.
What do you mean? He's the best at everything.
This is true. He'll tell you.
Sure. You can be crazy and good at stuff.
He'll tell you.
Rip.
Crazy good.
He is crazy good.
So that storm is gathering.
The storm is
Okay.
gathering. I would like us to take our union break here shortly, but I propose that we perform some shenanigans to distract the Voidwalkers and attempt to make our way into the structure.
Interesting.
Shenanigans!
Shenanigans. Always a good thing.
That's one of my favorite words.
Yeah. Listener is slow and quiet and mostly invisible right now, and they ignore him anyways. If everybody else leads them to the other side of the building and he just pops open the door, we can probably find some way to get you guys someplace safe. We don't know what's inside yet, so who's to say?
What if we open the doors and let them out and then went in after?
That could be the plan. Just lead them a circle all the way around.
Yeah. Just bang a lot of on the pots that we don't have. Make lots of noises. And
They're not
and
exactly
have them all
smart.
pile up on the wall, and then unless they do like the Warzy thing where the zombie pyramid and they start coming over, you just like open the doors and then run really fast and hope that they are not fast. Are they fast?
No, we've seen them. They're not fast.
Okay.
They're faster than me.
That's not comforting.
Well, everything's kind of.
Everything on this damn planet is faster than me. I have a 15-foot move speed.
Oh, good. Good.
They're slower than you.
That's good.
So here you go, Evelyn. This is for your benefit, so you can see what one looks like. Hopefully that's shared and you guys can see it.
Did-
Is it scary looking?
Can you see it?
No.
Oh, it didn't show to players like I clicked on. Show. Whoa. Well, that's all right. It's on. It was on stream there.
Was it?
Yeah.
It was. It is.
Oh no, that is so scary looking.
I managed to get online. Get on Twitch just in time to see it.
There you go.
No. No.
Okay.
While the party processes the options, may I propose our union break?
Yes.
I'm okay with it.
Certainly.
Thanks for the sub there, Snacks, by the way.
Oh,
But yeah,
My pleasure.
always. But yeah, we will be right back after this message from our sponsors. Please stay tuned. We'll see where this goes. We're gonna Dewey Decimal it up. Oh, my ritual is showing. Better fix that.
At night, I like to brush my fingers along the spines.
Oh no!
We're just having a nice conversation about bibliophilia.
I had to wonder which spines you meant, like the dismembered spines of your adversaries, or the
Yes.
spines of
The spines
Books.
that you're walking across to get to the gate.
Books, of course. Books.
I mean,
But you might
the
you might think twice after playing the Candlekeep one shots. There's one in particular that if you love, you maybe not so much after one particular episode.
The book bites back.
I mean,
Snacks, why you do this to me on a night I don't even have whiskey? See that post?
technically, if you kill your adversaries and then take their spines out and then make them the spines of the books, you get both.
By the pricking of my thumb, something wicked this way comes.
Speaking of spines, I swear one of the worst and best movie kills is in Wild at Heart. Spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen Wild at Heart yet. Anyone seen that? Or not seen it?
No.
Probably not going
Highly
to.
recommend it.
I think so.
It's a cult classic for a reason.
It is a good film.
I think I have. Rings a bell.
Taylor,
Oh,
you
it's
hit
the
me
Nick
hard
Cage
on the
one.
asphalt.
It's the Nick Cage.
Yes.
Yep, David Lynch.
What the hell? Why haven't I seen Wild at Heart?
You should.
I should.
Dude,
All
it's
right.
awesome. It is awesome.
It was a Blockbuster favorite. That's in the video rental store, Blockbuster.
Yeah.
We know Blockbuster.
We know it well.
Now you might picture my dog.
I
Oh,
don't know.
have I told you? Like, you might even think it looks like Toto from The Wizard of Oz.
So, before we go too much further, as fun as this is, what's our plan? Storm is gathering.
All right. As I have proposed, we can perform some shenanigans to try and lead the Void Walkers out quickly, or barricade ourselves into a more Void Walker-free portion of the inside once we've seen the inside. But we at least need to know what's in there to see if it's possible, and we can do this pretty quickly.
This is true.
Is this plan amenable to all present? Okay.
If everyone else agrees, I will go with it as well.
All right, quick, go bang on the wall on the other side of the fort.
There we go.
Tears just going
someone-
around.
Oh god.
If no
Oh, so
one
we're
else
not,
goes, I
we're
will
not gonna bang on the
go
front
with.
door.
No. I will open the front door. Everybody needs to bang on the walls elsewhere, so they're not at the walls.
All right,
Are we going
Saoirse's
out of, like...
gonna start banging on the wall.
Evelyn's gonna
Okay.
all alone in her corner. Bang on the wall.
Yes. Everybody who's still standing up near the door should not be.
Okay, I'm gonna go back over here. This is a weirdly shaped cave, honestly.
Did you say cave?
Not cave,
Town.
hut?
Settlement?
Outpost. It's just an outpost.
Like,
There we go. The ruins of an outpost.
yeah, they're...
Elves were weird.
Elves were always weird. So I give them, however long it takes for there to be no scratching at this door. How long does that take, Church?
We're gonna say if you take your time and do a proper 20, 30 minutes.
That is too long.
What if we rush it along a little bit?
Yeah, they're banging on the walls elsewhere.
Okay. You want to speed it up? You can do it in 15, 20 minutes.
We just.
What do you think I'm doing?
Well, I mean, we're talking about you.
I'm just standing by the door here. I'm letting the Void Walkers move. They're a little faster than me. Just giving them some time to head to the other side.
They're a little slow too, but yeah.
Are a little slow, yeah.
So you're trying to herd them.
I am allowing the rest of the team to herd them.
All right, so you're standing here quietly.
Yes. I'm standing here quietly. And 18 stealth invisible.
This group is standing here quietly with the animals.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And over around these abouts places,
Not
they're
so quiet.
banging on the wall like mad people.
What's Evelyn doing up here?
Just banging on the walls.
Over here?
Scared. Yep.
Okay.
She was alone for a long time on the island.
Okay. So adjustments have been made.
Alright. Well, you said the door locks from the outside.
It does.
I unlock it and slowly swing one open.
You're opening the door.
I am opening the door. 2 notes must be made. I currently have an 18 stealth roll, and I have spirit affinity, so even if they're there, they won't attack me.
Okay. Alright, let's see here. We're going to do this. Bear with me one moment.
Take your time.
I thought I had made this separate. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Why are you being difficult? There you go. The door is open.
Beautiful. Alright. I make my way inside. Is it very dark in here?
Yeah. It is still dark.
Alright, 1 second. We are in a bit of a hurry. So I'm going to go ahead and use green sight.
Alright. Excuse me. So that doesn't increase. Oh, you got it pulled up. Let me see.
I can navigate in utter darkness without concern. See air movements, changes in temperature, and invisible or obscured items and creatures. Did you make a spell that gives me unlimited range dark vision?
Well, no, that's what I was actually looking at. It appears as though I never added range.
Yeah, that's a concern.
Let's figure that out right now, shall we?
Yeah, what's a reasonable range for magical dark vision? Like, there's spells that grant that in the base game.
Dark vision is what, 60 to 90 generally. So let's just go with the base 60. We'll consider it night vision for sake of purpose, and we'll even make it green.
Hey, now we're good. Now we're strong. Alright, so I see an alcove here. I'm gonna quick walk around this little burnt out shell of a building. I see some void walkers down there. Oh, I see some more void walkers up there. Okay. Do they react as I am at this range from them?
Based on you, no.
Okay.
They do kind of notice you because of the light that you're carrying,
Yeah, as one would.
but they're more invested in tasty sweetmeats.
Also, as one would. Is this space roofed over, or am I now inside of a small walled town with buildings?
Small walled outpost with buildings.
Okay, this central building, I'm going to approach it and just kind of ease my way around some of the void walkers there. Is this door locked?
It is.
That's not really my strong suit.
It's also a fairly tall tower. That was the main building that you can see. Excuse me.
I've performed a survey here. I'm just going to keep a little walk around this tower and see what else is up.
Okay.
It's got to ease past that guy. All right.
It's got to be a little tense.
It is. He is. He's not too nervous about the dead, but he is looking about himself here, seeing these guys and saying, "Ooh, this is It's going to be a little tricky for everybody." I exit the door, I close it back and lock it real fast. Well, air quotes on the real fast.
Mm-hmm. So you closing the door?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I head over here to the party. I address, I think that's Kaz? Looks like Kaz.
Kaz, Uki, and Genesis.
That's
Yes, green sight allows me to see everything, Uki. All seeing, all knowing. So glowing eyes approach you, and listener says to you, "There is a tower within, but the void walkers are many. It may be a struggle to lead them out. The door to the tower is locked, and we would have to break through or get around it somehow. Can you run and collect the others around the perimeter?" Storms a brewing.
I was just about to say that storm is getting close.
Yeah. Kaz, Uki, you gonna help out?
Sure.
Alright, everybody come on back.
Wait, where are we headed? Where did we go?
Back here. Just grab everybody, bring them here.
So we're regathering is the plan?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, where was that? Where the yellow?
Alright, so those of you moving away from where you were making a distraction, are you doing so stealthily or just meandering?
I'm pretty much
gonna
in the same
be-
place, being alert and the animals behind me.
Well, primarily those of you who are making your way back around. Evelette's still off by herself, nice and
God.
alone.
Was I the most stealthy?
You were the most stealthy.
Yay.
Flawless.
What about the rest of you?
Well, there you go.
Nice.
Guess we were trying for stealth. Oh,
Were you trying for stealth?
This is my fault. I'm really sorry.
How are we doing stealth?
For the people coming back, yeah.
How are we
Yeah.
doing stealth? We're doing stealth.
For the people coming back.
Okay. Fade in the shadows. How you doing?
I saw that. With that roll, I'm surprised I saw that, but I saw that.
All right, everybody back.
Evelyn's still making her way around. All right.
I think I lost him.
Job. Listener broadcasts to everybody the state of affairs. The maneuver did seem to work to lure most of the Void Walkers to various places around the perimeter. There is a tower inside. The tower door is locked, but we could probably all shelter in there. Whether it is also full of Void Walkers, who knows? We don't have answers to these questions. But that storm is getting close, isn't it, Church?
Yes. Yeah, it's probably about 10 minutes out.
Yeah, it doesn't look like we ever stood much chance of making the journey aboard Phoenix to the other ruins, and we have only a limited time to make this particular maneuver work. Any suggestions?
I think we should make lots of noise and have them chase somebody out of the place. And then close the doors after they've left.
You know who's really fast and really beefy and kind of hard to hit? Kaz and Jeff. Jeff and Kaz.
It would just be nice not to be locked inside of a gate with monsters.
Oh yeah, that's much better. The way there, Simon.
Especially if like the door to this tower isn't very strong.
Yeah. I was completely agreeing as well.
Okay.
Would Cass have a way back in afterwards?
There were no other exits or entrances that you could see.
Well, he's just got to lead him off and then outrun him back.
Yeah.
Be faster than the bear.
I trust Jeff to be faster than the bear.
Yeah.
I trust Jeff to run over the bear on the way back if he has to.
Would they attack Jeff?
Absolutely.
You could sacrifice an ant.
Oof.
What did you just say to me?
I was about to say.
What did you just say to me?
There are lots of ants on this island.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Looking to get stabbed. You know, you could have used different words. If you're looking to get stabbed, you could have used different words. Look at me. Don't you ever say that to me again.
It's so hard not to say it, but she's gonna say it.
No.
Don't you ever say that to me again. Don't you ever say that to me again. It's just a bug. Look at me.
It's just a bug.
Look at me in the face and don't you ever say it to me again.
Seriously places her hand on Genesis's shoulder.
I would be careful. Genesis has been known to stab people quite a lot.
Some stabbings happen.
She's a little stabby.
We really think about him too much.
I don't want to fix another stab wound. Please don't.
Oh, the guy that I strangled? Fine.
She just, has prejudice against these ants after having lived
His
on
throat
this
I
island
slit,
for so
everything's
long.
cool.
I have a proposal for everybody.
What's that?
Here's what we do. Kaz is both the most durable and the fastest aboard Jeff.
Yeah.
We bring them all up here to the gate with noise. Everybody else sneaks off to the north. I open the gate, and Kaz draws them away. Everybody sneaks in. You get inside the tower. Kaz runs back through at high speed on Jeff.
Yep.
Close the door.
Yep. Sounds like a plan.
That's the plan?
That's the plan. I'm
how
sure we don't
fast
have
is
time.
Jeff?
Jeff can move pretty quick.
Oh yeah.
Jeff with a dash, I think is what, 80?
Yeah.
Well, talk about the dread charge.
Yeah.
The dread charge is 120.
The dread charge is nonsense.
Yes, it's redonkulous.
And they can do that with someone on the back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, specifically Kaz on the back. If anybody else tries that, they'll actually be drained of all their hit points.
Yeah.
I can also possibly help with making everyone else stealthier.
That'd be nice.
Go for it.
Alrighty, I am going to. Is anyone still injured?
Not I.
Anyone need healing?
We probably don't have time for that. If we delay any time at all, we're gonna need some healing pretty fast.
Well, I'm going to use my skill to give everyone adaptive camouflage.
Mm-hmm.
Which is just, I never actually explain what this does, so whatever you want to make it do. Whether it's advantage or...
These are the questions that Church has to tell us the answers to.
Yes.
Well, I mean, you're looking for definite answers?
For what the adaptive camouflage ability does from my everything is plants?
Well, I mean, as far as adaptive camouflage towards these things?
Just in general, I don't know what effect it'll have on a void ray. I just doing it.
Because, I mean, he's not too worried about the void wraiths until combat starts. Listener.
Yeah. Even after combat starts, as long as I don't engage in it, all is well.
Well, I meant for everyone else. Make everyone else a little stealthier when we're hiding from it to begin with.
And that's a good thing, but hopefully Church is allowing us to do this in the frozen time right now. How long does it take to apply your adaptive camouflage?
It's just a part of my, instead of botany, you know those bonus effects?
Hmm?
I'm picking the adaptive camouflage one.
Oh, okay. So as long as it takes you to apply a poultice, basically.
Yeah.
Uh,
Where it's sad.
Hit it fast. Everybody should line up and get ready to play your part. We got some stuff to do.
Yep.
All right. So let's do this. Let's start it. Show me how the pieces go. The doors are open.
The doors are not yet open.
Okay, wait. Pay no attention to what you're seeing then.
Yeah. The doors are closed. I will not look at them yet. Everybody who is not me and Kaz should be together and should take the animals with them. And should be away from the walls, ideally.
Yeah, I thought everyone was going to go head north or something.
I see Saoirse over there.
Yeah, the instruction was to sneak around to the north, so that is what she is doing.
Give me a stealth roll if you would.
Aren't we supposed to make noise first and then move?
Or unless you're trying to make noise.
Oh, we're making noise. Everybody else, no noise.
Yeah, Kaz will be making noise.
Okay, so that's what I thought. You're trying to draw him to the gate.
Yeah.
Yep, I'll be
It's
back.
not particularly loud, but he like thumps on the door a bunch.
All right, Wilhelm, you as well. Stealth it up, please.
Yep.
And you should all be improved by whatever Wilhelm's adaptive camouflage does, if you got all that on you.
Does that affect sound directly?
You gotta tell us. We don't know how the thing works.
I don't know.
It's
I don't actually have rules for this thing. It just says adaptive camouflage. I'm gonna go with no. It's not sound. It's just visual.
Yeah, based upon the name itself, I would say it's visual. I mean, I guess there is an auditory camouflage potential, but not generally.
Yeah, it just says bonus to stealth is what I wrote down originally.
We'll flesh it out.
Yeah, but
Let's make a
I think
note.
it's just a visual.
We'll make a note.
It could be like a soft, viscous sort of liquid that you apply to the soles of your feet, and it makes like a rubbery sort of material or coating on your feet that dampens sound.
It was made by the great benevolent Dr. Scholl.
Dr.
What?
Alright, so
There's still a lot of people standing right here by listener. That should not be.
Yeah. We're supposed to be... Can't see anything but right around with
Who are hiding, please ping yourselves.
Yeah, where is everybody hiding right now? Oh, there we go. Okay. I like it.
While all this is ongoing, noises are being made.
Slambity slam slam, slambity slam slam.
Large tree is knocking on door. Kaz is doing Kaz things.
Evelyn's tripping over her own feet.
Squeaks as she runs away from the inn.
Alright.
You did say that we're up under that camouflage, so we
For visual.
for stealth.
Yeah, for visual stealth, we'll say. In this particular instance, until we flesh it out.
Okay.
That's a lot of stealth. But you're still in range of the door, and you don't have to be. You can just be with everybody else.
Did I not? I didn't bring Jeff over. I'm sorry. Hang on, let me get that.
Yeah.
We need Jeff on the map.
Can someone ping where they're hiding? The other people.
Cannot believe I didn't bring Jeff.
You always bring Jeff.
There you go.
Hey.
Well, that's over
So,
there.
Did you guys want me to run that direction?
Yes, that ought to do well.
So you're trying to lead them out of the walls.
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright.
I'm not gonna like.
What is that popping noise?
Oh, probably my laptop keyboard thing. Right.
Ah, could be. You rolling some dice there, Church? Can I do a thing?
Yeah, go ahead. No, I'm dealing with the internal denizens.
Ah, yes, they are dangerous in that manner. Yeah. Kaz, are you ready?
I'm ready, mate.
All right. Listener unlatches the door and opens it, stepping off to the side with it as he goes.
And then Kaz will start shouting, "Hey, come here, you noisy buggers!"
Alright, so
Moving at a clip, hopefully.
listener, I need you to give me a. You're trying to stay unobtrusive.
Yeah, yeah.
And you
I
have
basically
your
just stand
bonus.
behind the door and pull it.
You pull the door. They see you here. Kaz, you and Jeff, right?
Yeah.
You're mounted.
Mounted and shouting. I'm not gonna like outrun them like full pace. I'm gonna go just slightly faster than they'd go. So if they travel at 30-foot movement, I'm gonna travel at 35. You know.
Okay, so you just stay ahead of them.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Their move speed is 20.
All right.
so staying ahead of them won't be an issue.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So
I'll keep banging my shield as well while we're doing the whole.
So just to give you an idea of what's happening here. Now, how far ahead of you are you staying?
I'm gonna try and keep at least 20 feet ahead of them, but keep banging my shield and
20
mocking
feet?
them. Yeah, at least 20 feet away from them.
At least 20 feet? More or less?
Okay, no. Let's make it minimum of 25. So...
He remembers getting vomited at before.
I mean, we can close that gap just to make sure they're on your tail. Say maybe 10, 15.
Yeah, no. Let's make it 25. I'll just keep banging you.
All right. So, here, listener, let's move you out of that tower there. All right. So, you have a large mass of them following you, stumbling through the parched earth, dripping with bile and other disgusting ichors and humors. With this plan, it's going to be no problem leading them astray. And you have enough speed to double back and make some distance. So we'll say that at least this group is out meandering. Hang on. Out meandering in the wastes. We'll move them over here.
As soon as they've cleared the area, basically, once they're, say, 100 foot off from the door, listener's going to walk in.
Okay.
Do a quick circuit.
Okay.
I see a couple of them survived back there.
It is still strangely desolate. The ones that you're looking at right there are actually clawing at the walls.
You cut out it right there.
The ones that you see right there are actually clawing at the walls.
Mm-hmm. All right, one survived back in there.
Let's see if that helps.
Looks like a couple are still in this kind of collapsed building. Well, that's really about as good as it's going to get.
Not terrible, all things considered.
No, we've made major improvements.
You cleared out a lot. I'm a little disappointed.
We try to avoid combat when we can, especially with things that explode and make the area uninhabitable.
I know, but they explode and vomit on you.
I know, it's terrible. Why would we want that? Okay. Where's everybody at when I make it back outside?
You're all
Saoirse
alone.
is starting to work her way around.
You're all alone.
I am for the moment.
Run.
I am walking with Saoirse.
You're all alone.
But they're all up there. We gotta go. Let's go. Let's go. They're coming.
All right.
Are you running?
Yes.
Okay.
Get the ant.
He has a name.
She would pick up a. She would pick up. She would pick up. Never mind. She can't. She's too small. Everything is twice her size now. Eee! Let me in!
It is not yet clear. Several have remained, although most have left now.
You are about 5 minutes from getting rained on.
Better in than out.
We hate that.
Let's go.
Let me see if I can open the door myself. Does anyone have a prying implement?
I can make one.
That's true.
I can make it. Can she make a crowbar?
Wait, is listener talking about the, tower on the inside? Because I thought this door was open.
The front door is open. The tower on the inside is not. Its door is locked.
Yeah.
Can she make a crowbar?
Make a crowbar?
Yeah.
No. I mean...
Out of void stuff.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Yes. Yes, that is a simple tool. You can. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was like, do you have an anvil and a forge? Totally forgot.
I have something better.
You do. You do.
The tainted blood of this land.
Of the void. All right. Do you have to wield it, or can you give it to me?
She does have to wield it.
I have to wield it.
I can also give you my spear.
Evelette flexes.
You might be strong. You're also very loud.
She is also, well, she's geared for this type of thing.
You got some stealthy shadow magic. Well, you're welcome to join me. We got business to handle.
Before you go any further.
Yes.
At the gate.
Yes.
Everybody who is there, except for Genesis, who is off by herself for some reason.
Oh my god, why?
if you want to, give me a perception roll. Only if you want to. Once again, it is not mandatory.
Every time, I prefer to.
Nah. Today's not my day.
Oh, nah.
Saoirse. Uki. Listener. Good. There is an elf peeking up out of the sand.
Whereabouts?
You should be able to see him.
Kick it!
Do I recognize
over
itself?
there?
Maybe. He does look familiar.
Saoirse's going to sort of narrow her eyes and just be like, Van Warren?
I'm not Van Warren. I'm an elf.
Yeah, Evelyn, this is a Galdowina elf just popped up out of the sand.
No, no, let's get inside. It's safer. Let's go.
Actually, I think
Hello?
Uki, you've never seen Van Warren, have you?
It's right in there.
Or have you?
She
No,
would
I have
have.
not.
Okay.
No, she would have. Van Warren was with Kaz whenever we met Kaz.
That's
and
right.
Uki was with us at that point. So
Okay,
yes, she
okay.
has met Van Warren.
Just making sure.
Okay. At the very beginning. Okay.
Making sure. So the only one that hasn't is Evelyn.
Yeah.
We're suspiciously less bothered by this turn of events.
This
But
is true.
you are right. There is business to handle. Listener is making his normal pace inside and speaking to Evelyn. Can you either hide or dispose of up to 3 Void Walkers?
Dispose of them?
Yes, they are standing here. I believe they were following you.
They like you.
They're right here by the door to the tower, and they're quite in the way.
I can... I can get their attention really far away and make them run towards it, or I can just kill them. But
Fire go boom.
Fire do go boom.
I can just... Okay, just let me... I'll go kill them.
It's harder than it looks.
Fine. Yeah, it is only the elf's head, by the way, moving through the sand. So just so you guys are aware.
She feels safer within than without now. Okay.
There are several others, but these are right here. I don't suppose you have a quiet way, do you?
Of disposing of them?
Yes.
No.
Well, fire doesn't exactly go boom, it goes whoosh.
Yes.
It will be very bright, and it will be very, yeah, it'll be loud.
Well, we are in something of a hurry, I suppose.
Oh, no, actually, these are, no, that's not gonna work. I'm just gonna go be invisible and walk up there.
Are you invisible magically, or
Invisible magically, yay!
you are?
She's gonna.
Let me check something real quick here.
Please.
Eyesight.
No, they have no unnatural ways to sense you, so... Okay. Invisibility. Poof!
She matches him now.
Alright, so they don't notice you.
Sweet.
You're welcome to try the door. It's right about there.
Okay.
It is. Scoot, scoot. As you get close enough to where you're at right now, you can hear them moaning, groaning. You can see this vile ichor dripping from their lips and noses. Their eyes rolled back, yellowed and sunken. You could swear they see you, but they're not moving towards you. You feel
blow everything up.
very alone right now.
I'm gonna blow everything up. Okay, so the first thing that she's going to do is cast with. She has like the ability to like quietly cast a spell, I think, right? Let me see. Subtle spell casting. Does that include speaking?
Yes.
Subtle spellcasting is a little different.
It's just a way to make it less obvious, more or less. You could whisper it. The verbal components.
If this is subtle spell as in the sorcerer meta magic thing, like there's literally like a thing in one of the D&D novels of like one of the characters like watching another character use subtle spell, and it's just like the person's lips were moving like they were speaking normally, but literally no sound was coming out. So I think it literally masks everything.
It's not that.
It is a little different.
Oh, okay.
It's not the meta magic. I think that is a meta magic feat, but it is similar. Like you can whisper it and not attract attention still, if that's what you're going for.
Yeah.
What are you casting?
But I guess she needs to slam her hand down, so probably a bad idea.
What are you casting?
Trap Springer, just in case.
Oh.
But I think that we're gonna skip that, and
No, go ahead.
It would not end well because you would have to drop concentration on invisibility.
Yes, you would. That's brilliant. Please do it.
I will smote.
So will I.
Yes. So no. I guess the first thing that she's gonna do is just without even really checking, just in case, she's gonna try to dismantle magical locks on the door. Just like this is like the only thing in this tower, and
There is no magical lock. I will give you
Sweet.
that if you want to just do a regular lock.
Is there a way to do an arcane check? Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna pick locks.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do I do the thieves' tools?
Yeah. Thieves' tools.
Proficiency.
Boom! Look at that. Sexy. 24. You blow the dust out of it. Wipe your nose. Make sure there's no boogers on your finger. Pull out your picks. The door just kind of, with a very soft click, the wooden doors, still magnificently preserved, slide open silently.
Okay. Just gonna go inside.
Alright, let me see here. Bear with me.
Just
There
gonna
it
make
is.
sure there isn't like a giant hole in the floor. Oh God.
A la Home Alone style.
One second.
How's the business?
There you go. So, the inside of the tower is in ruin. The entire inner wall is just rife with ancient, rotted vine works covered in vicious-looking thorns. Shambling around inside are two more void walkers. There's a shattered fountain in the center of the room. Various ancient destroyed bits of furniture littered here and there. And a single spiral staircase that you can see there, winding upwards to the next floor.
Does the fountain still have water in it?
It does not. It's bone dry.
Okay.
It's been shattered, though, so most likely it all ran out long ago.
Bone, you
Bone.
say. Ben Warren has entered the chat. Yeah, we've probably got like 2 minutes left, so I'm gonna go get everybody else.
Yeah, the storm is approaching.
Yeah.
About to do some REO Speedwagon.
Yeah.
See, so she's gonna kind of come outside and look around while he goes to do that, just to see if there's any other creatures about.
Fine.
So, listener out front begins to ping everybody rapidly. There are still several creatures within, but we are out of time. We will have to engage them in violence and take the tower by force.
Engage them in violence.
Yes.
Okay, I have an idea.
Please avoid slaying the creatures within the tower that would make it quite uninhabitable.
Bad idea. Oh God, this is so dumb.
Well, let's go, peoples.
Ideas are like questions. Maybe not. Gonna say there are no dumb questions.
People
There are-
Does
do that.
does
They
the
meet
does
a few
the,
of them.
does the shadow on the fence count as a like do the shadows along the fence line count as shadows?
Along the wall?
Yeah, for her to like poof into.
Well, you're gonna have no problem using a shadow step in here. There's just darkness everywhere, so that's no problem.
Great. She's gonna do something stupid.
All right, what you doing?
From here, she's gonna make loud noises.
All right, so you're coming out of invisibility.
I don't think that's necessary to make loud noises.
No.
No,
She's
I'm just asking.
I mean, Bryn did it all the time.
She's gonna pick up whatever rubble she can find, make loud noises, and then like start throwing rocks and then running.
All right, let's see here. Okay. So you start making loud noises. These move. These crawl over the rubble.
Get in your home.
excited. So let me check something real quick here. Oh, good. Oh, good. You're about to get vomited on.
Ew. Do they know what direction to vomit in?
It's a cone.
Fuck. I mean, kids know.
It's a cone.
This is an adult show, right?
Oh yeah.
I will give them. Yeah, you're good. I will give them disadvantage. What's your AC?
Not great. 12.
12. Spew a 12.
Sweet.
So this one.
Is there any dodging?
Well, that was already a disadvantage, unless you have
Great.
some ability that grants you.
More powerful dodge.
No. Nope.
Okay. So yeah, this one comes out, just like crawls, stumbling over the rubble, and just belches loud, just and you hear it as just this black ichor just bursts forth from his lips in a huge cone and just sprays you with disgusting negative energy damage. 19 points of damage.
Oh god. This is bad.
It scorches you. Like you can just feel it eating at your skin. It hurts like hell.
Cool. She's gonna keep running.
All right.
And hopefully
Still running?
Yeah. Make another loud noise, and then she's gonna now that she's like made a loud noise in that direction, she's gonna poof over to her line of sight in a shadow behind them and wait for them to run that way if she can.
All right, make a stealth roll.
For her shadow step?
No, just to be quiet where you end up.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, because your skin is
Cool.
searing pain
Yeah,
right now.
you are hurting
Yep.
really bad.
Yep. How do you weep quietly? Hold on one second. People can do a lot of things when they know that they're about to die.
Alright, there's still 2 in here, but really everybody ought to be coming to help with the problem at this stage.
Oh no, that's right. You were making noise. Hang on.
Oh, that's better.
She is choking herself with her void energy to not scream.
All right, 19. All right, so yeah. 5, 10, 15, 20, they move. 5, 10, 15, 20, they move.
Alright, listeners back at the door. He is signaling to Genesis and the animals. He is signaling to Kaz aboard Jeff. Now is the time for action.
Yeah.
It hurts. She's gonna go inside and cry.
Yeah, we're about to make a real special roll for you, Evelyn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's yes.
I'm so excited.
Haven't caught anyone with this. Alright, so
Kaz and Jeff, all aboard. It's coming aboard.
everybody moving?
Saoirse is in the tower.
Alright. Waiting on the rest of you.
But I want to fight them.
You're welcome to.
In the tower.
You're in the tower. Alright.
Listener pulls the exterior gate to behind him. He can't really lock it from this side, but he pulls it to.
Alright.
Doing his best. He's taking a dash. It's moving him a whole 30 feet per round.
Here they come.
Closed.
All right. You slam the door shut, or do you want to leave it wide open?
Oh, I close it, but I'm not really a door slamming kind of guy.
I just want to give you the option to leave it wide open if you want to.
I really don't want to.
Okay. I just figure I'd give you the choice, you know.
Oh yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So, I need to make a roll.
Evelette's gonna drop her invisibility, by the way.
Yeah, and when you do, everyone can see that her flesh, where she got hit, is just smoking and searing, like blisters.
You're gonna match my scars now.
Eva, would you like to roll, or would you like me to see if you're infected?
Oh, whatever. What do you want me to roll?
Percentile. I've got 5 numbers chosen here at random. If you roll one of them, you're infected.
Do I just roll like a D100 or?
D100.
Okay. I have really bad luck. So
I've got 5 random numbers chosen here. Right here.
Yeah.
And they are randomly 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
What'd you get? A 29?
Yep.
Okay. I'm not going to tell you, just so you know, but.
That's what we have a Wilhelm for.
Yeah, that's my job, to figure out whether you're infected or not, and whether I can save you if you are.
Genesis.
Yes.
You still maintaining the animals?
I am.
Give me an animal handling, please, because they are panicking.
No. Guys, relax. Have something
I will
to
assist
eat.
with animal handling.
Yeah.
If you eat something, your brain will think that you're not in danger. It's okay. You'll be all right. Here, have
Listener
some
begins
hay.
to radiate a calming aura.
It's all right. You're gonna be fine, guys. It's gonna
20.
be okay.
Nice.
All right. You managed to get the animals reined in and under control. The Phoenix are shivering and scared, but they're nestled up against Archibald.
Yes. Keep
They're
safe.
Their rock and their comfort.
Yes. A bastion of hope is
Yes.
Archibald.
Archibald.
Yes.
Archibald is the almond milk of this campaign.
Don't.
The less
start.
demonically
Don't
possessed.
start. Don't
We
even
think.
do that to me right now. Don't. I am in a very fragile emotional state. I do not need to hear about almond milk that you took from me.
Yes. I can deal with fungus. Sadly, I don't have an anti-angler aura for Jimmy.
So, you managed to get the animals settled. Evelette, you're hurting really bad. You can hear a number of these things clawing at the door outside. Some of them saw the movement and the animals and everything going in.
And now they're all making a ruckus.
As this is happening, your ears are pierced by the crackle of thunder outside as the entire tower shakes. That was well timed.
Can I ask a really vital question?
Of course.
Does the tower have a roof?
It did, yes.
Cool.
Tower's got multiple floors. We technically haven't gone up the stairs yet.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I just want to make sure that we're not gonna like be in a puddle of acid.
One of the things you can hear from in here is the pitter-patter of rain beginning to fall. Unfortunately, it's not like normal rain, as most of you would already be aware. It's not the gentle pitter-patter. It's pitter-patter followed with sizzle-sizzle as the stone and wood outside, which has weathered this before, but you can hear it. Just that little kind of...
It's an unnerving sound.
Guys, I don't feel good.
I'd like to treat Everett.
You gonna treat Evelyn?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Well, first things first, I'm gonna check the wounds and try to see if I can determine if she's been infected.
All right. Let's see what you can figure out. Boom. Look at that medicine roll.
Oh.
Alright, so you take a look at the wound. You do your initial assessment, initial cleaning, provided she does not fight you. Are you fighting him, Evelyn?
Try really
This
hard
is
not to.
not going to be pleasant.
It's not.
Yeah, she's gonna try. Hold on. Let's see.
Here, Saoirse will do this.
Uh-oh. Oh, empathetic performance. Alright.
Okay.
Make her calm.
There you go.
Yeah, because like I got a COVID test once where somebody like stuck the thing up on my nose and I couldn't help but like grab their wrist and I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. And they looked at me like I accosted them. And I was like,
Oh, yeah,
really?
this-
How many people have not accidentally grabbed your wrist because you poked their brain? You poked my brain. So I'm not really sure what my control level would be in her situation.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. And if you want to roll for RP purposes, give yourself an advantage. But for the most part, her song is calming you. She's taking you back to someplace nice and pleasant and warm and cozy.
This is like the third time Saoirse's done this to Evelyn.
It's a handy skill.
Memory is a powerful sedative.
Wilhelm, thankfully she has avoided infection. She is not blight sick.
Okay. Well, I still have to treat the open wounds, bandage.
You're gonna have to
I'm gonna
debride
use-
this one.
Yeah.
It's gonna hurt.
It's gonna hurt.
Kaz is
I gotta
gonna Kaz is gonna hold her hands so she can grip him if she needs to.
It would like being okay with all of this be like survival.
It's up to you. I want you
I
to.
don't know. Roll
I
for
want
that.
you to understand fully what's about to happen to you.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Please explain it.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I can wait. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Are you familiar with the term debride?
I thought it's debride.
Debride. If I'm wrong, somebody at home will correct me, I'm sure.
Oh, you're the DM. It's debride.
It's debride.
It is pronounced differently.
He's
in this
basically
world,
going to
even.
take steel wool to your flesh and scrape the rotting, burnt skin off.
Cool.
Yeah, it's not pleasant.
You're going to take a little more damage. It's going to hurt like hell.
Yep.
Yep. So, Master Miss, what's your question? Sorry.
I've been through this before, right?
Yeah. Well, I think some of you have.
Can I sort of, can I interweave my capacity to recall a room based on seeing it before with my capacity to use synesthesia to see and like cross my senses essentially, and then add in empathy with that to be able to take some of the emotional or physical this really hurts from Evelyn's experience.
You want to reduce her pain using your abilities.
I want to take some of it if I can.
Okay. Pain is a construct of the mind. It is not a physical thing. You being what you are, I will actually allow you to take that pain if you want to.
Okay.
If you do this and it's successful, we're going to make some rolls to see how you react.
Okay.
If you're cool with that.
I am.
Okay.
Well, I was just gonna knock her out.
That's never a safe thing in this type of situation.
Yeah, we need our resident expert in the manipulations of void energies to be at 100% in this particular environment.
I was just gonna put her out for about a minute while I actually tried to debride the skin.
I think it will be beneficial for me to develop this particular set of skills.
Go for it. No, this is actually good. This is interesting. So, Wilhelm, begin the debridement.
I take whichever hand Kaz is not holding.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Make
See,
your
it's
rolls.
just still calming her too, so you know.
Yeah.
What do we do?
22.
Excellent. So you begin the debridement. Evelyn, the pain hits you. It is a searing, agonizing pain, but just as soon as it
That is good.
begins, calm as you are,
Yeah.
you can feel something. Like a warm, gentle touch caressing your mind as Genesis reaches out and attempts to channel that pain into herself. Genesis, this is new territory. Let's see. Make an intelligence save, Genesis. All right. In that case, you managed to just leech the entire experience away from Evelyn. Now make a Constitution save, please.
Oh.
Ruh-roh.
Flat
might have-
D20. I don't like those odds.
Paz will have to dodge the vomit.
Oof. All right. Wilhelm, how much damage does a debridement usually do?
Rip.
Double checking.
Rip.
Wouldn't it cause physical damage to Evelyn though? Not to someone else?
Yep, it will.
Oh.
Psychic damage.
It
So it's both
doesn't.
psychic and physical?
It doesn't say.
It doesn't say. Also, the official debridement is minor surgery.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get that for another 3 levels.
Well, this is a basic debridement. I think we'll amend that.
Yeah, we've been doing these for a while now.
Yeah.
I'm
So
assuming that scraping off her skin is gonna cause damage?
it is. Roll a d6, Wilhelm. Okay. 3. So, Evelyn, take 3 damage from the debridement. However, you are entirely calm. You do not feel any of it. Genesis, you take 1 point of physical damage as the physical manifestation occurs on your own body. Your skin turns red and raw in the same area that the debridement is happening on Evelyn.
Okay.
It's not terrible. It hurts like hell, but you've been there. This is your shtick. This is what you do. You grit your teeth. You bear it. You've been through worse.
Mm-hmm.
Evelyn, you are very aware of what's happening.
Yeah, she thinks it's fascinating. It's weird that it doesn't hurt at all.
You know, you're aware that Genesis is taking your pain.
Oh, yeah.
Like you can look at her and tell. So you can see the redness appearing on her body where your wounds are, and know that you should be feeling something way more than this.
On the one hand, she's like super grateful. On the other hand, she just tried to like make sure that everybody got in here safely, and now she's watching someone get hurt anyway.
In a very interesting way, though, to be fair.
Yeah.
So, so you took the 19
Curious.
plus an additional 3.
Yeah.
So that's what, 22 points of damage total.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're hurting.
Yeah.
No.
It's pretty low. She does not. She's not a beefy character.
Yeah. But that was a beefy hit.
Yeah.
Those vomit spots really hurt.
Yeah.
You should see what happens when you kill one.
She looks pretty bad right now. She's pretty raw. So that's probably why she's not really like fighting it off, and she's just gonna like let all the things happen and show gratitude and ask her what exactly are you doing afterwards, not during.
Well, real quick, Saoirse, what instrument are you playing for this song?
We'll say we'll go in Maury's fiddle again.
Okay, so it is a fiddle. Okay. Alrighty.
Can I treat her with a combination of a tincture and a poultice to focus on the skin, which be the poultice, and the tincture would be more for like internal injuries caused by the poison as well. So like both of them.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's fine. I'll let it go.
Okay. And I'm gonna forego the extra 2 points. So I'll treat with both. So it becomes 2d4 plus. Okay. So you get 7 hit points back.
There we go. Which by Cairne standards is actually pretty huge.
Yeah.
You do feel better.
Sure do. I'm over half again. Barely. I'm
So,
at half.
Kez, as this is happening, based upon you being who you are, what you are, you become acutely aware of the sounds of shuffling feet upstairs.
Oh. Crunch. Bugger. We got company, guys. Shuffling upstairs.
Nothing's coming down the stairs. You don't feel like they're aware of your presence yet, but you know there is something up there.
I will have a quick look.
Okay, you going up the stairs?
Yeah, if there's like a trapdoor, he'll just stop there and say, "Alright, problem solved."
It's just the stairs going up. It's an opening.
Okay, yeah, in that case, he will peek.
Here.
He doesn't attract much attention, and he's got an 18 stealth roll rolling for him at the moment.
Now the stairs continue on. Oh, where'd you go? You moved. Here.
I stood on the stairs.
Boom.
Oh, okay.
So in the center of this room is a glowing crystal. It is radiating with some type of energy you're not terribly familiar with, though you get the inkling that it is some type of arcane energy. You do see 4 forms shuffling around in the room. Arcane symbols line the walls. Arcane sigils line the floors. Once again, the tower in this area is just rife with damage. This looks like it was a meeting room of some sort at one time. There is a throne on the north quadrant.
Ooh, what a fancy chair.
These are not the same things that you saw outside.
No, can I identify them?
Yeah, here.
Oh.
That's one right there.
Gotcha. This looks a lot more like a zombie of the classical sort.
It is not.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
It is not. This is a Blighted Aberration. You've encountered these before.
Indeed.
Dun, 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 dun.
I just want the shiny rock.
A Blighted Aberrations, 4 of them. Of course, once again, their own danger.
Yeah.
They do not appear to be aware of the group's presence yet.
Okay.
The stairs do continue on upward, though.
Oh, the stairs keep going. That's interesting. All right. Well, we're gonna have to do something about that. Probably next time on Dragon Ball Z, but oh yeah, we gotta do something about that. I remember these guys. They are a bit more of a problem, generally.
It's just 4 of them. You're fine.
Well, it's 4 of them, and this is a very tiny room.
Fireball!
Made of wood.
True. There's a lot of wood here.
Yes.
For a change.
It's also the only thing keeping us from dying in a storm at the moment.
This is also true.
What a lovely place we found.
As a DM, I pride myself on bringing you to all the lovely locations.
The finest tour guide to the lands of Cairne.
All the lovely locations.
I am Dungeon Master, your guide in the realm of Dungeons and Dragons.
That are made of wood.
Sorry,
Oh.
sorry, I had to do the cartoon. I had to.
Yes, I know it. I see it in my mind. I go back down the stairs as quietly as I came up.
All right, you can move yourself down there, since you know where you're at now.
Yeah. I say to Kaz specifically, do not go up there. There is trouble up there.
I could tell.
Unfortunately, we will probably have to do something about it.
I hate to add further complications, but I'm pretty much out of all my stuff now. That was my last tincture.
Dun dun dun.
And that's what I've been using in the mister.
Now that's a damn cliffhanger.
Wait, what?
Our medic being out of poultices has not really done us super well in the past.
I'm out.
That could be bad. We're probably gonna have to actually look into your food situation too.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
And see what you actually have on you.
Are ants edible?
They are.
Oh.
Am I gonna have? Okay. Okay,
Some
we're gonna have some food pretty soon, because I'm gonna have to stab you. I'm gonna have to sharpen my knives and actually
That was
get in there
an
and
out of
karate
character
you, like-
question
So-
because Evelyn doesn't know that they're out of food yet. If she did though,
Fennecs are
she
also
would
edible.
certainly. Oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
good to
Fennec-
know.
Fennec's are
Oh,
good.
I might have to get out of here. I actually can't. I actually can't deal with that. No.
It's
I
okay.
wonder if they're
and-
gamey.
If
And
you're
keep in mind, Uki has stepped in before Genesis damaged someone else, but in this moment, she might actually just happen to be looking elsewhere at the time if there's going to be damage done to Archibald.
everybody's a big fan of Archibald.
Yeah, we don't know that we're out of food yet, so we have options.
And you have a new mouth to feed with you.
Yeah, we have an elf to eat. I mean, to feed.
No, I think that particular equation works in the other direction most of the time.
Yeah.
I do have
I don't
rations.
like any of this.
Van Warren has actually probably eaten at least some of your races in the
Yeah.
past.
If he has not eaten a person, I would be shocked.
Kaz has some rations too.
Is he in there? Is he with them right now?
Oh yeah, Van Warren's here.
Yes, he's with
Yes.
She's still super calm, right?
you. Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks to Saoirse.
All right. She's gonna be staring at him blankly.
Oh,
I'm sure he's
he's
probably
gonna
grinning
stare
right-
back.
grinning right back.
She feels
Um,
totally fine about it for now.
Totally fine.
Something's
I didn't
not
get to
right
do this
there.
earlier.
You know,
Van Warren.
before we do anything, let's. Did that work? Did it show?
Mm-mm.
I swear the
Nothing.
show to players is kind of wonky sometimes.
It is. It varies based on journal entries, I think.
I was going to show you guys a picture of Van Warren. Well, he's on the stream there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good old Van Warren.
I know. I'm beautiful.
It is a sight for sore eyes. We need all the help we can get.
Well, Van Warren left with something.
Yes.
SC.
right.
And I say that because it has come up many times since he left.
Yeah,
Is it edible?
It does keep happening.
I suppose it's edible. I don't know if you're going to want to eat it.
Ah,
Yeah,
God, that would
I
be
mean-
the weirdest possible decision.
Oh, maybe that's how you get it to work. You have to put it in someone's.
Van Warren's
Van
probably
Warren
already
would
tried
believe
it.
this.
I am so sus of Van Warren right now.
Yeah, you probably should be.
Mostly because it's who she is, but
Oh yeah.
Probably
Please,
should be.
I'm a great elf. I haven't tried to kill any of you yet.
He's the best.
Van Lauren,
maybe
I would
among
like
your
to try
people.
to hug you, but are you gonna bite me if I get close?
Yes.
I'm still gonna come in for. I'm still gonna come in for a hug. Please don't. And then.
Please don't.
Don't bite me. I'm gonna hug Van Warren because he is my friend as well.
Grapple
Please don't
attack.
bite me.
I stay over here and nod at him.
Grapple attack.
Bite him.
I will numb. Yes. I will not draw blood this time.
Oh yeah.
Minor noms.
Minor noms.
At least he's not in chains this time.
Yeah, right? Gosh, the racism in these parts.
Is he gonna like lick him to test the flavor?
I don't have to. I've already done that.
He's already
while
done
he was
it.
sleeping.
You're, at this point, you're probably the only one he hasn't licked for flavor.
Honestly, I don't think he's much of a leafy greens
Covers self with more shadows. Yeah.
I have to watch that he doesn't try to lick my fingers when I do surgery.
Tasty
including
digits.
on him.
Tasty digits. Finger food.
Nah, see, he'd be completely awake and he'd be pointing at his body parts. Say, what's that?
Looks at a rib. Oh, you know, that would make a really good knife.
Evelyn is going to be sleeping in porcupine shadows from now on.
Scaredy cat.
Spiky shadows.
Then Ron would be sleeping in the dirt.
Yeah.
Oh my god, like the French guy. What is that from? Atlantis. Cover yourself with dirt.
The mole.
The mole.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think we will call it for now. It wasn't terribly exciting. There was loads of danger, but you guys didn't pick any fights. I did still manage to singe one of you, so I'm not entirely disappointed.
Mumble, mumble.
You have trapped us between a rock and a hard place. The fight is coming.
But
Maybe.
we really want the rock.
The glowy rock.
Yeah.
Well,
some interest in the glowy rock.
You know, with great risk comes great reward. I will say that.
That was not the case this time.
Our reward is we get to live.
You guys played it very smart, leading the Voidwalkers away. I was hoping to get the chance to vomit on all of you. Repeatedly, enough times to at least infect one of you with blight sickness. I've gotten muck blood on one of you. Now I want to do blight sickness.
Can we stop trying to do that until I can start creating actual stuff to deal with that?
But I want to make it challenging.
I need antibiotics. I can't make that yet.
I just eat a rotten orange, moldy bread. You'll be fine.
I swear, I will make shit.
You guys did good, though. You guys did good. No fatalities, once again. Everybody's here. We have a clinger from another day gone past, coming to join and play with you guys. This could be good, it could be bad. He might be coming back as an enemy. You never know. That would be hilarious.
Only time will tell. We've returned all the way to the very beginning.
That would be
We
hilarious.
should probably just kill him just in case.
Yeah.
Whoa.
No.
We're running out of food, guys.
Just because I'll eat one of you in the night doesn't mean you should kill me.
To be fair, he would probably eat Kaz first, because Kaz is the meatiest.
We trust Van Warren here, right?
I was gonna eat the big lizard thing first.
Oh,
but-
Jeff.
Oh, that would be bad.
I think that would kill even you.
Yeah, that probably
Yeah.
wouldn't taste very good.
Okay, well.
It'd be always
Technically, like, Listener and Evelyn wouldn't be very good either. It wouldn't.
Not a lot of
like-
calories on Listener, despite his
Yeah,
size.
and like, void things.
Listener is actually vegan friendly and gluten free.
Yes.
Oh, so I shouldn't eat him. He'll probably taste really bad.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a big
And-
wet lettuce.
Unless you want some salad.
My people have spread over the land, and everything refuses to prey upon us just because we're not food.
Not food.
They're not food. They're friends.
Uki's
Yeah.
probably pretty tasty.
Yeah. Evelyn would taste like bad things, so.
I don't think you care.
Evelyn would taste a little bit like tainted meat, most likely.
Yeah. Yeah, she'd probably taste like she'd gone bad. Like sitting outside of the fridge for too long.
Well, if you keep staring at him, he won't care.
I would say Uki's though is pretty lean and not.
Uki's like a ribeye.
Nah, I think she's more like a New York strip.
New York strip, yeah, I could see that.
Same. That's all right.
Yeah.
Saoirse's so sweet, she's probably a filet mignon.
She's so skinny, though. She
Darn it, now
barely
you
has any meat on her.
This is Cairne. Nobody's all that tasty, but nobody's all that picky either.
Kaz is like Kobe beef.
Genesis.
So be it.
Genesis.
Chuck, you're gonna make me blush.
Genesis at one time I would have thought would have been a steak, but she's gotten so tough over time. I think she's just beef jerky now.
She could be bison.
How dare you?
Genesis is just some beef jerky. She's gonna make you fight for it.
Genesis is probably. Well, I don't think he'd eat Genesis.
Hey.
That was a really dry joke, Church.
But don't.
Wow.
We got to cut out before we descend
All right.
further into madness.
Yeah, we gotta cut this before
We love you.
Yeah.
We gotta go.
Any further.
Yes, thank you
Yeah.
guys so much for joining us. Once again, remember, No Shave November. It's mental health awareness. It's okay to not be okay. Look out for one another. We love you. We hope to see you next week for a
The
return
next
to
arc
Sigil.
of Sigil Confidential.
That's right.
Oh, no.
That's right. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be fascinating. But yeah, thanks for joining us. And we'll see you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye.
everybody.
Tight.
You know.
Good night.
What is